What's up, everybody? John Eric Polite back here with My MMA News, and I'm speaking to Mike Rodriguez, who got a huge win last weekend in the co-main event of UFC Vegas 7. Mike, how are you, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just been chilling.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for giving us the time here, and I guess obviously congratulations on the big win last weekend. And I guess we'll start off. We were just talking a little bit before we started recording this interview here, and you can fill everybody in on it. It was a crazy couple of hours for you before the fight because OSP tested positive for coronavirus. There's some moving around parts because you weren't originally going to be in that co-main event slot. So just tell everybody the madness that it was of those couple hours that you learned that you're going to be in the co-main event then.
So at first it was just the first fight, again, like I was saying, one of the first fights to get pulled out was was one of the prelim guys. The prelim 205 fight. One of the guys got pulled out. I don't know for what reason, but they swapped him out. Then two other fights got shuffled around, and that's how D-Rod and I forgot the other kid's name. They end up fighting each other. And then I'm like, all right, yeah, we're going to be third from the top. The next thing you know, the OSP fight gets taken out. I'm cutting weight. They're like, yeah, you're going to be moved to co-main event. I'm like, oh, nice. So that was cool.
And just like that, there you were in the co-main event. So,
yeah.
It was a huge win for you, too. You got a big knockout there. Great clinch work. Kind of, break the fight down for us a little bit through your eyes. Was that exactly you saw it going down, you getting to the clinch, landing those nasty elbows and putting him away like that?
So the whole game plan was to close the distance and enter safely without taking any punishment on the way in to get the clinch. And so we worked on a bunch of different entryways to getting the clinch. There was a whole bunch of them. It just so happened the first one I used ended up getting into the clinch. But we just wanted to close that distance as much as possible because we knew that he's, that karate base, so he wants to stay on the outside and spring in, things of that nature. So, yeah, that was the game plan. Get in there, get that clinch, take it from there.
And then I want to ask you, too, about his approach, too, because he didn't, try to hide his cards at all. He came right out, and his game plan was to chop away at those legs because – your fight only lasted, I think, 2.5 minutes, and he threw numerous, leg kicks upon leg kicks upon leg kicks. How effective were those leg kicks that he threw?
So we weren't expecting that at all. We were expecting him to be more further back, fighting that traditional karate way. But at the same time, we had to keep in mind it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since he fought. So we're like, okay, how are we going to what to go about this? How are we gonna, come up with an effective game plan? And then sure enough, when we came out, he came out the heavy leg kicks. And so I took one or two. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And then I just had to adapt. And I checked the last two. So he probably hit me 3 good ones. And then the last 2, I checked them. One of them I checked really hard. And I think he kind of felt the thud. But that threw us off. And the stance switching. Wasn't expecting him to switch so many stances.
So what's it like then for you as a fighter when you're inside there, you put together this game plan, and then he comes out and he's doing things that you weren't expecting him to do? What's that like when you're in that moment where you're like, oh, boy, I have to, kind of figure out what I'm doing here?
You can't. So about that, I can't control what he does. I don't control what I can do. And the only thing I can control is me adapting. So I had to adapt to what he was throwing at me. That's the only thing you can do.
I'm gonna watch Goosebumps.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, watch it. Sorry about that. My kids.
No, I know you're busy being a dad, man. I got it.
Yeah, and so I just had to adapt, focus on him, focus on myself, and adapt to what he was trying to do to me. So I just adapted to it, and then that's how I was able to get it. But yeah, I always think of how can I adapt to this. That's because that's the only thing I can control. I can't control him.
I understand completely, man. And then what's next for you then? I know you said you wanted to fight by the end of the year. I know that's obviously within a couple of months. Kind of what's the rest of 2020 looking like for you?
I want to fight again. So I'm just sitting here. I'm gonna keep my weight maintained and get back into the gym on Monday and train. Right now I'm taking some time off, giving the family some time, and but I'm trying to get back in the gym, and I want a quick turnaround.
All right, man. Well, hopefully, now all that works out for you. And I wanted to ask another thing too about this past weekend with the card. Was you're on the same card as Frankie Edgar now the second time.
My guy, yeah.
I know you love Frankie Edgar, so kind of tell me what that was like getting to share the fight card with Frankie for a second time now.
Oh man, it was awesome because like the first time we did it, obviously we both lost, and then this time, well, I'm like, we got to get the win. We got to get the win. And the fact that he had a great performance. I didn't even see the whole fight. I just saw some of it because I was in the middle of a lot of hold on, bro, hold on. I was in the middle of a lot of media stuff. So like I was like getting glimpse of it, and then by the time I was done with all my media stuff, they was like, oh, he won, and I was like, oh snap! I was like, word. I hope they got that reaction somewhere on because I was in a tent. I was like excited about it, but yeah, man, I'm just happy he won. I'm happy he won.
Yeah, it was definitely a great win to see, especially seeing Frankie bump down to 135 pounds like that, and now he's in a prime position. He comes right in.
Was that his first fight at 35?
First fight at 135 pounds, yeah, and he beats the number 5 ranked guy in the world in what's maybe be the deepest division in the UFC. So, I'm sure I know what your answer is going to be to this, but do you see Frankie making a run towards that title and maybe even winning a UFC championship at 135 pounds?
Damn right. It's so hard to count him out. It's just so hard. He's just the man. You know what I mean? And he's done it over time and time again. How many times people like, I don't know if Frank can do it. I don't give it. And he comes and do it. You can't count him out.
Yeah, he's a great fighter, and he's been doing it for such a long time too. So whatever the secret to his longevity is, hopefully he shares that down to everybody else. Because he's figured it out for a long time now. But I want to, go back to you now for a second here. I wanted to know you're a real big guy. You know what I mean? And you can just tell everybody looking at you when you're inside the octagon, you always look so much bigger than your opponents. You're, obviously still at 205 pounds. Do you ever see yourself making a jump to heavyweight one of these times?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm not close to it. I'm open to it. I'll definitely be open to it. But of course, it has to just be the right way. It can't just be like, I'm gonna jump to heavyweight because I'm just been eating like a slob. Nah, I gotta be disciplined, pack on more muscle, like put on that muscle weight. And yeah, but I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see it too one of these days. Like you said, taking the time to do it the correct way and everything is obviously important. We've seen a lot of fighters say that's the most important thing about moving up, weight classes is to make sure that you're doing it the right way. Another thing I want to ask you too, which I really like about you is your length. Was it 80? They arrested you at 82 and a half. And there's something about seeing a fighter that's long and knows how to use their length. It's something like, we've seen the Conor McGregors of the world, the Max Holloways, John Jones. When a fighter has that length and they're able to use it, they're very dangerous. So I want you to touch about your length and just about how you go about making sure that you're using it the correct way and how to make sure that's the most effective way possible when you get inside of the octagon.
I always try to keep everything at the edge of like my touch. So like if my nut, I can't palm up so much, but at the end of my knuckles, try to keep them there. Try to keep them at the balls of my feet when I'm deep in the legs and stuff like that. And that's how I basically had to manage distance.
Gotcha. And now I want to also talk about some things outside of the cage as well. I know you're a family man. We've seen the kids coming in and out of the shots here. They want to watch Goosebumps. I know we're holding you up from that, but talk about what it's like to be a family man like that, and balancing your whole professional fighting career while also being a father.
It's tough. It really is, but it's awesome because like they motivate me. I don't think I would be as good and probably not get as far if it wasn't for them. Like give me that extra push. Because if you're just doing something for yourself, it's like, I could take tomorrow off or whatever. But it's like, I'm doing things for 3 other people here. So it's like, I got to push for it. I got to push. So yeah, they motivate me. They bring the best out of me for sure.
Glad to hear. And then another thing too, I noticed that when you spun around the one time, are you in your gaming chair there? I know you're a big gamer.
Oh,
right?
yeah. yeah.
Yes.
I was playing Ghost of Tsushima right now before you even called me. I was just sitting here playing a game. I was playing Fortnite with my son a bit ago. I'm always playing games. I like them.
Yeah, and now you actually did you try quitting one time? Wasn't there a brief period you were like, what, I like if I'm not going to do it?
Yeah, so like I stopped playing video games during the Milstead camp. I was like, oh man, I was just being too crazy. I was like staying up all hours of the night playing video games and blah blah blah. Like I just was just going nuts. But I'm just a completely different person than I was before. So like now I know how to like manage things and things of that nature. At time I was just being too crazy. I was being too extreme about things. But yeah, I just did everything in moderation, and that's how I just manage it now.
Gotcha. Well, I'm sure COVID probably helped pick up the gaming experiences. I'm sure.
Oh man, yeah, for sure.
And then one other thing too, before I let you get going, I got to ask. I know you're a New England guy, right? You're from Boston, correct?
Yeah.
Are you you a big fan of all the Boston sports up there? Then.
So crazy thing about me, I'm not a sport guy.
Really?
I don't know anything.
For a professional athlete, you're not a sport guy.
Not really a sport guy. Nah. Like I mean, like I like watching. I like watching playoff games, but I don't watch it necessarily for the players. I mean, necessarily for the game itself. It's mainly for the players because I just like seeing how athletes deal with adversity. See how athletes deal with like them performing really well. But if you ask me, be like, yo, name that guy. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. If they're a big name already, like I have no clue. But yeah, I just like watching athletes, like how they work, like kind of look at them from like a sports psych lens versus to like being a fan or anything like that. I just watch them how they do things.
Gotcha. Because I've heard people saying that the Celtics are supposed to be the sleepers in the NBA playoffs this year. I was gonna get your take on all that because I'm not. I'm not a fan so much in the NBA myself.
I heard the same thing. They just beat. Didn't they just swept
the Sixers?
The Sixers, yeah. So, but people are like, oh yeah, they're gonna be the threat on the East Coast. I'm like, I hope so. That'd be cool. It's cool. I don't know how they're gonna do the duck boats this year with this whole Corona stuff.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Well, it's nice for everybody up there in Boston, Mass. And then just before I let you get going, too, if you want to go ahead, plug your social media accounts, management, sponsors, anything that you didn't get to cover, floor is yours, my man.
All right, I want to first of all thank everybody for all the love and support. The love and support I've been getting is insane. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at MyMMA on Instagram and on Twitter. Don't really use Facebook that much. And also, I want to give huge shout outs to all my coaches. Ross, Glory Kickboxer Ross Levine, that's my guy. He helped me tremendously through this camp. And I would like for sponsors, Kill Cliff, Modest Needs, and Collector's Cup. Thank you, all you guys, for all the love and support. You guys have been holding it down.